Yo, welcome to Droppin Dimes, aka working on a new title still. But we're here. We're here dropping dimes. We're here talking about Dallas Mavericks basketball, a little bit of the rest of the league, but primarily Dallas Mavericks. Go Mavs.
Yes, sir.
We're joining me here as always, Jamelle Holloway. Jamelle, how you doing?
Wonderful, brother. Wonderful. How about you?
Dude, that's good to hear. I'm doing great. I'm in a better place right now as a Mavericks fan. I think there's been some rockiness already, but we're only just a little bit past the quarter mark of the season. And I think there's better days ahead for the Dallas Mavericks. Right now we are currently in seventh place unless that's changed after some games tonight. But currently, last I looked, in seventh, with just tight. I mean, like, just the whole Western Conference is so tight, man. Like, from the Lakers, I think the Lakers are, and I shouldn't say I think. Let's check it out. I'll put it up right here. I think the Lakers are 10th, and there's only like 5.5 games between 10th place and first place.
Right.
Which is the Pelicans right now and the 1 seed, surpassing the Suns, because guess who beat the Suns? The Dallas Mavericks beat the Suns. Let's go, baby. It just felt good to kind of get like that payback from the opening night, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we got their number. It's no secret about that. But it's kind of like what you're saying with the tightness of the Western Conference right now. You would think that this means that everyone's playing so well. I don't think so. I think everyone is kind of average at best right about now. Every team has a bit of flaws, which, like you said, makes you feel a little bit better as a Mavs fan right by now. But
yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Right now we're 13-11, and it as a fan, as a competitor, there is a lot of anxiety around the tightness and like the closeness of every single team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just being like, oh my gosh, like, can we stay afloat? But as a spectator, as the entertainment standpoint, and what's good for the league and what's fun to watch, it's awesome, the fact that like all it takes is a team to make a run to jump up in the standings, right? And so that's pretty cool. I think it's like any season, things are going to settle in, right? And there'll be separation within the teams, because that's just
the cream will rise to the top.
Yeah, exactly. And I have hopes that the Mavericks will be one of those teams that can kind of slow down. They have more experience than some of the teams that are up in the standings, like Jazz at the 6 seed right above them. And for sure, then right after that, the Kings at the 5 seed. Even the Pelicans, man. Like, I know the Pelicans are good right now, but I think things will kind of level out a little bit as we get into the second half of the season, or even the second half of the first half of the season.
Yeah, I agree. So, and that's the thing. Like you said, all it takes is a small run. And see the Mavs right now in that 3-game winning streak and winning 4 of the last 5, which, they beat Phoenix and the Suns, and the win before that was the big win before that was Golden State, and honestly,
and that Knicks game
that Knicks game was actually a big game, because the last several years they've been kicking our butt, so it felt good to finally win convincingly.
I know.
But yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I definitely see a light at the end of the tunnel, just as well as any other team should in the West. From like you said, the Pelicans and Phoenix all the way down to the Lakers. Everyone has a shot, to say.
Yeah, no, totally. Not to we'll get to what we're about to do in a second, but also just like I said, as in an entertainment standpoint, like, you couldn't ask for more when games at this time and at the end of the season too matter,
Yeah.
like, it's a random, like, the next game we have against the Bucks, obviously that wouldn't matter because it would matter because it's the Bucks. But even like games like 2 games from now, where it's Mavs Thunder, where we are right now, the way it is, those games matter,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Which hopefully our team and our coach and our players and everybody can get that through their head in the Dallas Mavericks, and we're not going to drop any more games to these sorry teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Show up for those.
Yeah, I mean, we was talking off camera and off the pod a couple weeks ago about the frustrating part about losing to the teams you're supposed to beat is you pretty much going to split with the better teams,
Yeah.
But and you supposedly make up for it in the rest of your record with beating the teams you're supposed to beat. But when you're losing to the teams you're supposed to beat, that's how you lose seeding. That's how you end up in the play-in, consistently losing these games. It's not just the bad teams we lose to or teams we should beat. We lose to them when they have their 2 best players out of the game.
Yeah.
And,
yes, and get this. It's actually a weird stat, man. That and I'm gonna butcher this, but we have lost to. So like, there's 4 or 5 teams, and let me look if I can see. So there's the Pistons, right?
mm-hmm.
Then we lost to the Wizards and the Rockets,
Magic.
And the Magic, and all of those teams, they were missing either 1 or 2 of their best players.
Yep.
Every damn one of those games. Like, that's insane to me.
Yes, even the Thunder the first time. I know they got a good record, but they didn't have Giddey, the first game. So it's pathetic, and it's kind of bleeding over to what I want to talk about today, but it's all on Luka. Like, I don't want to put, and I'm not going to put the blame on him. At first, I think our last pod, I may have put the blame on him. But as soon as we got off that day, I was like, man, I can't blame Luka because he's doing everything he could possibly do. Point blank, every other game. On a game like that, he should be able to rest in the game or sit out like he did the Rockets game. We lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pathetic that he, has to carry so much, and we got NBA players on the team with them that should be able to do their part. So I don't know if you have any other thing else to say on that before we go to the next thing, but like I said, it does bleed over to what I'm saying.
No, it's all you. You got it.
All right, brother. So as Mavs fans, all we have to really hang our hats on is 2011, right? So sad to say here on this pod, we're going to reference 2011 a lot. And the biggest thing about 2011, that the main theme about that championship run is we have Dirk cementing himself as a legend, and reason being because supposedly he didn't have that much help, right? He had no other all-star from that season on the team. And he carried them to beat so many great teams. So I want to share my screen for those who may be watching on YouTube, but we're going to go through this verbally for everyone on the pod. But what I want to do, guys, is you see my screen, Sal?
Yep, I see it.
All right. I want to talk about pedigree because what Dirk did have was a tremendous core. And I feel great. Like I said, we're on this 3-game winning streak right now. And I feel great about what the Mavs could potentially do. But there's so many frustrating moments like we were just talking about that why can't anyone else come along for the ride? Why is it so inconsistent every game? Why Luka can't take a moment? Just like the Denver game, I give him credit. The Denver game, that was like a picture-perfect game of Luka don't have to be his best for us to get a victory. For everyone else, it seemed like that would be a tough night to do it, out for back-to-back going to altitude. But for some reason, they came to play, and they brought what any NBA player should be able to do, get his own shot. Don't have to rely on Luka. Yeah. But let's get to it. Dallas Mavericks pedigree. Pedigree is so important. Where do these players come from? Let's look at 2011. We look at that roster, man. Yes, Dirk did not
Oh,
Dirk did not have help.
Just comes
right?
back. It all comes back. Just look at the names, man.
Yes, Dirk didn't have an all-star that year, but what did he have? He had guys from that team with pedigree. Let's go through it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Barea did not have a pedigree. He was undrafted in 2006. But let's be real. J.J. made his name. He had a quick run through the G League, and he made his name. But J.J. was just a role player. We didn't depend on J.J. going to that season. Mm-hmm. He shocked the world and became something.
Right.
But let's keep going. Corey Brewer, where was he drafted? Number 7 overall in 2007. Caron Butler, number 10 overall, 2002. Brian Carton, number 44 overall in 2000. The custodian. He's a late draft pick, but what? We didn't depend on him. I mean, he had moments, but of course, we were not relying upon Brian Carton. Tyson Chandler, number 2 overall, 2001. Brandon Haywood, number 20 overall, same year. Jason Kidd, number 2 overall, 1994. Jan Mahinmi, number 28 in 2005. Another kind of mid to late round pick guy, but we did not rely on him. Mm-hmm. Maybe 1 or 2 big moments throughout the playoff run. Sean Marion, number 9, 1999. Dirk, of course, number 9, 1998. Deshaun Stevenson, number 23, role player. Did not rely upon him. Peja, number 14, 1996. Jet, number 10, 1999. Mm-hmm. Mel, what are you saying? Why does this even matter? Pedigree lets you know if this person can show up in the moment. In my opinion. It may not. Yes, we have people like Manu Ginobili in the second round. Yes, we have people like Draymond Green, late second round. But those are anomalies more than anything.
Yeah.
Even if they don't pan out, the pedigree of them getting drafted high, I mean, they have traits. And those traits typically show up in some way or another. And also, it shows that they may not be as afraid of the moment.
Right, yeah.
Because they've been in big moments before. Now, not only that, most of these guys were, severe veterans or high veterans, have been in the league. You look at their roster.
Very much.
8 to 10 years at the most. So they legacy and their who they were in the NBA was well rooted and established. Most of these guys were all-stars at some point, or high-level players.
To the finals.
Been to the finals, just ready to get over that hump. Mm-hmm. Now let's compare.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
Like if you go from Jet all the way up to Kid, right, and then you could even throw Tyson Chandler in there, like that alone right there. It's just like besides I guess Mahinmi, you just can you think of like, oh my gosh, they showed greatness and had those moments, true veterans, and where like it just was just this like perfect storm. It's crazy to think about that, with Jet. I mean, like with Jet having like, coming into the league, maybe not as much like as a Hawk, but still he was fiery, right?
Yeah.
Peja, all those seasons with the Kings, right? Marion with the 7 seconds or less Suns, and Kid going to the finals twice. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
it's the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm. Those guys were ready to, don't get me wrong, that had a lot more to do with it than maybe their pedigree. But the pedigree had a lot to do with it as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to.
No.
I didn't get to my point though too is that they also all failed a lot.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so because they failed a lot, there's this level of pedigree that just kind of builds.
Yes.
Right. And there's an expectation. And like you said, then it creates this like this I don't know, culture of like not fearing that moment, not panicking.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Now let's go to 2022. Because the point is, if we're gonna center ourselves around one star, one superstar, one all-time great, just like we did in 2011, he has to have the right pieces around him. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the pedigree of these guys, especially Dinwiddie. Number 38, second round.
Whew. Yeah.
In 2014. Dodo, undrafted, 2016. Josh Green, number 18, 2020. Newsflash, who been one of the best players this year?
Yeah.
Josh
For him.
Green.
He is. Josh Green has.
Does he look afraid of the moment whatsoever?
He doesn't, honestly, man.
Dog, this dude is balling, bro.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. His vision, I mean, his athleticism, his speed.
He's been on a tear the last 3 games, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, we're winning. THJ. Oh, of course, Luka, number 3 overall. THJ, number 24.
He's getting hot right now.
He's getting hot. This is hot,
yeah.
THJ. This is what we always have. We always look forward to. Same year, actually, Bullock, number 25. I can't lie. I'm okay with the role, him being on the bench now. Because until he find it, you need to, give Josh Green even get his minutes,
Or until THJ decides to just be not hot anymore, too.
Exactly. And of course, Christian Wood, undrafted 2015, worked his way kind of like what JJ did. Dwight Powell, number 45, second round. Kleber, undrafted. McGee, number 18, 2008. He rarely getting minutes right now. Bertans, number 42, second round. Hardy, number 37, second round, but that was a steal. Most people think that's a steal. We're going to see what he becomes. Yeah. And Kemba, number 9, 2011. Guys, my overall point is, when we look at the Mavs, it's like guys are afraid out there to make a play on their own consistently. And it's bothering me. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Like, what do we have to do for you guys to act like you've been playing basketball your whole life? But my point is, majority of these guys never been in these situations before. You got Dodo. Yeah. He's back at the point. He was late last year. We thought, like, man, he's starting to be, when they close hard on him, he's starting to make a play, either to the basket or maybe find an open guy. He's a turnover waiting to happen right now.
Yeah.
When they close out hard on him. And I think it's all just centered around, in my opinion, these guys just never been in these moments. And it's all predicated, our season completely hinges on Luka making these guys, getting the best out of these guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know how sustainable that is.
Can I tell you what I think, though? So it's not necessarily disagreeing with you. It is just kind of trying to figure this out. Because a lot of these players, a good chunk of these players, have some experience. We've been in the playoffs now. 2 seasons or 3 seasons?
I think 3 now.
3 seasons, right? So that's some experience against high-level teams, high-level Clippers teams, right? And made it to the conference finals, right? Against high-level teams and players. So what I'm trying to get to is maybe we're just not good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So, and I know this could be premature. Maybe
no,
we
man.
are just a team. Maybe we are just a team that just needs time to get into it. But not really, because like you get caught. You can get caught. The best teams are teams that are good the whole way, almost the whole way, right? And are on top of the standings and can win games without their superstar, right?
Yeah.
And have those veterans, and they can make it happen. And then when it's go time, then they're scary, right? Then have this next level with Luka being on completely. And so maybe we're just not good enough.
Bro, you spot on. This what freaks me out about Mark Cuban. And it always has, and that's why I got excited about Nico and Michael Finley taking a bigger role, is Mark Cuban, to me, tries to beat the system or do it an unconventional way and be smarter than everyone. He has in the past. I'm not sure. So I'm not saying it's what he's doing now. But basketball to its core is about one thing: talent. We can go to the local YMCA, 24-hour fitness right now. Everyone will be able to recognize who the best player on the court instantly is. So the other thing in these draft picks, or whatever, the presentation I just showed shows us and reveals to us that yes, these guys were not highly touted as talented guys, and that stuff follows you. And I'm sorry, like, it's great to have these. I love Rick Carlisle, how he was able to take guys and always make them better. No matter what, how many guys came to play for the Mavs when Rick Carlisle was here that they got a big contract when they left, because he molded them to something better.
And he's doing it now with the Pacers.
He's doing it now with the Pacers, exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, Jason Kidd, he did it with Milwaukee. I'm sure he has that development tool as well.
Yeah,
but all these, what they call it, reclamation projects, stuff like that. Like, I'm not interested in that no more. Like, you gotta have talent, man. You gotta have talent. It ain't gotta be espn. Like, it don't gotta be something extraordinary. You just gotta be able to do the simple basketball skills, like dribble, like take it to the hole. Like, it bothers me that you got guys who came in the league, couldn't do anything. Now they're doing better things, but it's still not up to par on, for a championship level, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So here's my question for you. I feel like if we go back all the way to even before, so let's go back to 2006, the tragedy, right?
Yeah.
And so 2006 happens, we lose, right? Then it's nothing changes, right? 2007 comes, and then the second tragedy, right? Yeah. And then we have these years where we're getting these guys like Brandon Bass, right? Like Brandon Wright, like all these guys that are like, hey, like maybe they can turn into something, but then we give up, and then we went from like trying to just get the free agents, right? Like Jason Kidd, which worked out, right? Or like Rajon Rondo or Lamar Odom, all these, like, let's try to get those like low level agents, right? Or guys in free agency and see if that can work, right? Then Chandler Parsons. And we just weren't developing guys. Now, we get to post all of that. We're at, we miss out the playoffs. We have that playoff run in 2014 because we got a veteran, right? We're like, okay, let's kind of combine the two. Let's work up these guys like Dwight Powell and add in guys like Vince Carter and kind of play both. Yeah. Right. That wasn't really working. So I was like, all right, well, let's just go straight into just developing guys and draft well. That kind of has been happening. And it's just like, I'm like, man, it's like, I feel like it's a little too much, like you said, like trying too many different avenues. Yeah. And it's just not coming together. And it's like, there's mediocrity in it, Yeah. And we have this the best thing that has happened since 2011 is Luka Doncic, right? And we as fans could not ask for better. We are spoiled in that sense. Yeah. That we go from one generational talent to the next. Yeah. So it's like, what is the solution then? Is it, I know that there's different ways. I don't know. I'm so bad at what is it? There's several ways to skin a cat. Is that a saying? Okay. Yeah. I'm so bad at sayings. So I get there's different approaches, right? But I just want us to be able to stick to one. And I know that with having Luka, that change, like, it doesn't really change it, but it does, because you are win now. I don't know. It's like, I'm not a GM. I'm not a front office guy, and I don't know. But I'm like, my question for you is like, is there something that you think is like blatantly obvious that we're not doing that we should be doing? Or is there, like a prototypical thing? Like, do we need more 3-and-D guys? I know this is a long question. Or what? Like, but what's your opinion on that?
And you going down memory lane kind of got me thinking, he did try. I give Mark credit on that. He did try. But to me, he tried at the wrong time. Like, he tried after 2011 to go get the big fish, called it basically lightning in the bottle that the Mavs, the 2011 being that, and we wouldn't be able to, repeat. So So he tried with Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordans and stuff like that. He tried, but people are not coming here, Sal, and it's hard for me to not go down the conspiracy theory lane because I try not to, but I really do believe the NBA has a lot of say on who goes where, and when. I mean, during the year that the NBA literally owned the New Orleans Hornets at the time, they
some shady stuff right there.
And I was a huge Kobe fan, so it hurt, seeing that Chris Paul couldn't go there. So, but I know that's a literal instance where they controlled it. But I seriously think, I still don't think the NBA like Mark Cuban, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the stuff that happened with DeAndre Jordan, like, that was too fishy. Like, how in the world can the Clippers hold up that situation? I
didn't even bring that up. Yeah, that was one of the biggest ones. Yeah.
So I'll give them credit. They have tried. For some reason, people are not coming here, and we keep. And I think we, some way or another, overvalue Dirk. I know for us, like, he's everything, but I think they leaned on, the fact that Dirk is Dirk to us, but he wasn't that to the NBA. The rest of the NBA did not respect Dirk prior to 2011. Let's just be real, And then by that time, he was too old, to really bring one of these young guys here. But we have this hope that Luka, it seems like he has a way better relationship and way better, gravitas and respect amongst the other players, his peers.
Yeah.
But it hasn't turned anything yet, so
right.
Some got to be going on, bro. And
I'll be honest. I remember. Okay, so this takes me back to the Chandler Parsons days, right? And I thought it was obvious. I remember this change, this shift, and like, hey, this is a guy that's very social and has friends. Yeah. And this is going to be good for us. And the problem with it is what he didn't have, or what ended up happening was him just not being able to be on the court. So you can talk all you want. You can have sweet talk, right? But if you're not going to be able to then show these guys that you're on the court and you're a part of something of winning, it doesn't matter, So that sucked how that happened. What I want to see from Luka is, and I know that this, I don't know. I don't know what he is really off court, right? Except just we don't know much except for like when he's, post game stuff and whatnot. But his interactions with KP just makes me think that he's still learning how to navigate just even being in this country and just in the culture a little bit, and not a whole lot, not as much as Dirk did, right? Because like he's so smart and like he's just it's completely different the way the world is now. But I think there's still kind of that adjustment, and maybe even kind of a part of it is just a maturity of his age. And I hope it just happens quicker to where then like that, because that's kind of where I feel like he lacks. The game speaks for itself. Now, and I know we're going down different rabbit holes, but like it's just like sparking things in me. Like, remember recently there was talks of like even Lauri Markkanen like wanting to come play for the Mavs. Like if I'm Luka Doncic and I see that, I'm like, I'm going straight to him and I'm going to Cuban. I'm like, hey, like, let's try to get this guy. This is maybe somebody that would be good to have, and pursue. And what can we do to make that happen? And I know that happened with KP, but it's clear that Doncic didn't really have a say in that as much, I think, because of their relationship. So I want to see that in Luka to be like, yo, like, hey, if there's an interest in people, it's like, let's go for that and see what Lauri Markkanen is doing now. He's going to be in the All-Star game, so it's balling. Like
straight balling.
Yeah.
I think I remember either this summer or the previous summer him saying something like that's on the front office. Like he stays out of that, But I want to ask you, do you think, I get this a little out of him and I don't know, but I'm just asking you, what's your opinion? Do you think he relishes being like an underdog, like having an underdog type team? And, You know, because some people like that's their thing. Like, I don't want all this help. I want you to doubt me and go prove you wrong. You know?
Yeah. I think there is an element to that, right? Of that in him. And he's like, you think of the teams that he's played for, that Barcelona team when they won,
Yeah.
the year, and like that was, I don't know much about it. I know that they weren't like the team, right, to win
Right.
it and stuff. You think, but for sure the Slovenian team, like he loved that experience, and they were underdogs the whole time, and there
Right.
was just this like you could see that he turns it up in that moment when it's like it's up to me.
Yeah.
It's
Even
hard to know that.
in the Olympics, like what they finished like fourth or fifth or whatever, it's like he was proud of that. You know, it's like the furthest they had gone ever.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he just wants to win, bro. I don't know that there's as much of an ego thing. There is some, because he's young again, like that's part of it. But I'm convinced that he does just want to win. And when you see him have those frustrating moments and those reactions to some of these players that he feels like, man, I trusted you, and you just didn't follow through. Like, and that's going to happen no matter what between him and whoever else after him. But when it happens more consistently, that's when you're like, okay, I think he would rather be passing the ball to a Peja Stojakovic, right, than whatever other player, or passing it to a Sean Marion, or being okay with trusting somebody running the offense that's going to make a difference, and push towards winning, right? So I don't know if that answers the question. I think there's a little bit, but I don't think it's to where it's like a problem,
Yeah. Just one last question.
Okay.
We turn over to you. Which current Mavs would get minutes on that 2011 team? Based on those two presentations I showed you.
That's a good question.
Well, besides Luka.
Besides Luka, of course. Yeah. You put Luka on that team, man.
Oh my God.
We're winning multiple championships right there, man. That's a really, can you throw up the 22? I like this question.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be like harsh and be like nobody, because I think it's possible. Like I can see Christian Wood being like the young guy that's going to get some minutes, kind of like in the like Haywood kind of
Right.
position, or even Mahimi, where it's like maybe a little bit more than that, but like he can score. He's a high level offensive player.
Right.
Like, so I can see that happening. And to be honest, I would say maybe last year's Maxi Kleba, not this year's.
Oh yeah.
Because he is a good defender. There's a presence there to kind of give some relief, right?
Yeah.
And shoot, maybe throw in Josh Green, but even then, like, I don't know. I think Josh Green is good, but like he's also amongst a lot of players that aren't as good. So it's like it's going to be easier for him to shine.
Right.
But those two that I said, Maxi and Christian Wood, probably are the stronger cases that I'm like for sure feel like could have some minutes in those, And I not to disrespect Dodo, maybe Dodo would be able to as well, but as a defender, Deshaun Stevenson role, besides not being able to shoot as well as Deshaun Stevenson, but Dodo's proven himself as a better shooter in the last 2 years, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
That's the thing. Like when you bring somebody on, they got to replace somebody minutes. So I couldn't see Dodo getting minutes over Deshaun because Dodo is a versatile defender, don't get me wrong, but that reliable three, it would be more. But honestly, man, I don't think nobody.
I know. I was like honestly, I was just trying to make it interesting and have something. But like my initial reaction is like nobody, man. Like I love these guys, but like nobody. I just yeah.
Kid the coach ain't that much less hard nosed than Kid the player, you know. So I think he would have a lot of influence on having Christian Wood on the floor. Although
Christian Wood would get minutes. Christian Wood would get minutes.
He would maximize Christian Wood. That's the first. Like he told every damn peer, if I come to Dallas, well, now that I'm a Dallas, I can make you an all-star. He told every damn peer that because just with him being on the floor, he can get you to average 10 points at the center.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would get a lot out of Christian Wood, but I don't know, man. That's about it, honestly. Because to me, who's Dinwiddie gonna take off the court, you know? And
yeah, I didn't even mention his name. I don't think he would get minutes at all. You know? I don't know. That's difficult to say too when I do feel like he's been playing pretty well too, but yeah, no. I'm just trying to like it's like obviously you got to think as a whole, you know, of that player and what they've proven. So I like that question. That's good. Are you ready for my question?
Yes, sir.
Let's get into some trivia.
Let's
get some trivia done and then we'll be done. Dude, thanks. That's awesome. By the way, I love that. I love that. That was great. Great to just go into that. Comparing those two teams. All right. Some Mavs trivia. I think next time, well, you got it next time, but then after that, I'll have some NBA trivia. But let's do Mavs trivia. Yeah. And I went simple on this one. I want you to name me as many as you can, right? And we could even do it to where it's like I'll get you to it or something like that. Mm-hmm. The top 10 scorers in Dallas Mavericks history. You don't have to do it. If you want to try to do it in order, you can, but it doesn't have to. You can just throw out names, and I'll tell you, where they are. It's like, okay, yes, you got it right. This person is at 5. Now let's keep going. So let's get you. I'll get you to the 10 if I need to, because I might have to with some of them, because when I was doing it, it took me a little while. Okay, but I missed one for sure. Yeah. So let me get my list up. Make sure I got it. Okay. You ready?
Yes, sir. All right. Top of the dome. I'm going to go with Dirk, of course.
Number 1 scorer with 31,560.
I'm going to go Brad Davis.
Brad Davis is number 8. He had 7,623 points for the Dallas Mavericks.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry's number 6 with 9,953.
Mark Aguirre.
Mark Aguirre is number 3 with 13,930. There you go. How many is that so far? You gotten?
I got 3.
You've gotten 3 so far, yeah.
I'm gonna go Luka. He's already in the top 10. I think.
Luka's number 7 with right underneath Jason Terry, 7,718 points. That's insane. He already has that's freaking crazy.
So let's go. I'm gonna go Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is not. He is at 15.
15.
Mm-hmm. I'll say even Nash is in front of him, but he's not in the top 10. So like J Kidd didn't score as much for the Mavs.
I don't know why my mind going blank here.
Okay, here we go. You ready? I'll give you. So think of early 2000s Mavericks.
Michael Finley. Oh my God, I'm tripping.
Yeah, that's not even what I was trying to think of, but yeah, of course. Number 5 is Michael Finley with 12,389.
Early 2000. That's good to be. Give me a position.
Small forward. 1-time All-Star with the Mavericks.
Anton Jameson?
No, I guessed Antoine Jameson as well, and he was no. Jameson is pretty
One
far
time.
down. Mm-hmm.
Not Jamal Mashburn.
Think 06, 07.
Oh. Stat.
Huh? Long arms. After the Mavericks just didn't really do anything else.
Where my mind going blank.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh dang.
Long arms.
Yeah, long arms. Was
All-star.
played small forward, one-time All-Star, was arguably the second best player in the 06, 07 teams.
Oh, Josh Howard. God.
There you go. Number 10, Josh Howard. Number 10. He's number 10 with 6,614. All right, keep going.
I think that's 6.
That's 6 of them, yeah.
Wow.
There's one obvious one for sure, okay? And he was
World Droppin?
He's no. But he's an all-time rebound, so 80s for sure. 80s player.
Oh, Derek Harper.
Derek Harper, yes, is one of them. That's not who I was thinking of, but he is one of them. He's number 4 at 12,597.
Rolando Blackman.
Boom, number 2 scorer. Number 2 scorer,
8.
16,643. It's 8. Now, you said that one. Who are you missing? Let's see. Is that 8? Are you sure? I think you've said I think we have 9.
Oh, we got 9. Okay.
Yeah, we have 9 because you said Brad Davis, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, we have 9 of them. So there's the last one. This is the one. This is the one that I missed. Big man. He's a big man. Oh my goodness. He played a long time in the NBA. He was a high draft pick. He was picked number 4 overall in 1984 by the Dallas Mavericks. Other teams that he played for was the Lakers, Supersonics, and the Pacers. There's a lot of promise with this guy, but just his sheer size was just kind of caught up with him later in his as he progressed. This one's I missed it. I was like, oh yeah. So you can think about it for a little bit. If you can't get it, then I'll just tell you.
You said Lakers, what other teams?
Lakers, Sonics, and Pacers.
Oh, Sam Perkins.
There you go. What a boss. Let's go.
Man, he scored that many points. How many points he scored the man?
Dude, he scored 6,766. He's number 9 on the list. Above Josh Howard, who had, I think, more seasons with the Mavericks, you know.
Sam Perkins would kill in today's NBA.
Dude, yeah. He was so good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Roy Tarpley was great too, and I mean, I think of guys like James Donaldson too. He's down like 17, but I'll just tell you too, like Devin Harris is 16, JJ Barea 14, Jim Jackson 13, Steve Nash is number 12, and then shoot, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Jay Vincent, I don't even know who Jay Vincent is. He's number 11.
No clue. We maybe need to find out who Jay Vincent is.
No clue, dude. So, all right. That was great.
Yes, sir.
That was awesome, bro.
Good trivia.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. That's it. Thanks for joining us at Droppin' Dimes, aka name coming soon. It will come by the next one for sure.
Yeah.
You can listen to us if you're listening to podcasts on Google Play, Spotify, Apple for sure. On YouTube, you can go to Sal Herran on Facebook and Jamelle, and you'll see us sharing all our stuff there. We're having fun. We have fun just talking about basketball, and we hope you have fun listening to us talk about basketball, specifically our Dallas Mavericks. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you, Mel.